Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 402. I'm Chris Adams, Ticket Master, joined by.
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So we've got so much from playing. A middle segment about legendary game series and franchises, and do they ever die, or can they forever be reborn like a phoenix?
Like a phoenix. A bird herd of phoenixes.
Besides that, oh wait, I said weekly segment news. Yeah, besides that weekly segment news. So yeah. What you been playing? So I've still been playing good old Tetris on the Vita. I gotta say, I think it's good therapy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like good therapy. Tetris. I mean, it's a Tetris Ultimate, so it's not like the title's not Tetris, but you know, it is the current version of Tetris as I know. And I'm really excited for the VR version because I think I'm getting pretty good. I'm clearing not marathon. I can't remember what it's called. There's like a mode where it's like you have to go 30 levels, not 30, 15, and it gets faster and faster and faster and faster. And I'm like being able to consistently clear it all the way through. So I'm like, yeah, I'm getting good at this Tetris thing. So that's cool. That's fun. Enjoying that. Besides that, a lot of repeats this week and one new one for me. So besides that, jumped into Destiny 2 for a bit because I was able to actually get off from work on time for once this week, and that was yeah, so that happened. And then Gamer and Zaffro helped me with my Whisper of the Worm quest, so I got that finally. So the Black Hammer weapon with all the abilities, or what? Not all the abilities, but that thing that does that thing, that one. That's not rifle. Got that. Oh yeah, apparently there's like a heroic version, and if you do that, you get, I can't remember, I'd have to go back and look at it, but it gets you the catalyst, and I can't remember what the catalyst does right now, so it's like that thing that does that. Or not the thing that does that, but it gets you the whatever the catalyst does to get you like the whatever thing that the catalyst does. That's how you do that. There's a heroic version. And every week, apparently, it changes burns. So yeah. And it was Arc, but we couldn't get through, and I was like, whatever, dude, I just wanted the gun, so we're good. And I can come back and get the heroic version, or the callus through the heroic version anytime. And I was like, oh, and funnily enough, both Gamer and Zarf are on their hunters, and then I'm like, you know, that's kind of a sweet cloak. But then I was like, oh, it's the stupid Triumph cloak, where it's just like involving a lot of grinding. And at first I was like, you know what? I might go with this my hunter, and I like switched to my hunter, like starting to do some of the stuff, and then I was like, 30 minutes later, I was like, you know what? At this game, I'm done. And then I was like, why am I doing this? It's like, yeah, not getting it. Let's just wait until Forsaken, dude, and just like, yeah, enjoy ourselves and not grind our soul out and hate this game. And like, you know, I'm in the new try light mode of Destiny 2. It's like I don't try hard anymore. I mean, I try. I don't try hard. I try light. It's like if I get it, I get it. If I don't, whatever, dude. And you know, just keep on keeping on. And I might get it later, I might not. But it's like, is it worth it to like try for like hours and hours, hours? Like, no, it's probably not. So, you know, depending on what it is. I mean, it has to be worth it. It's like, if it's worth it, sure. It's like, but I'm like, it's a cloak taken. It's a cloak. Do you need this cloak? It's like, no, I don't. F that cloak.
Yes, you do.
And then I was like, started thinking, I was like, you know what, you're right, because I haven't really been playing Trials, don't have a bunch of Trials weapons, don't have all the weapons. It's like, yeah, it's like, Destiny 1, Destiny 2, very different. It's like, Destiny 1 is like all about having all the things, getting all the things, using all the things, or not really using them, just like having them all and getting them all. This one's like, whatever, dude, I'm just here for the raids, just to help my team with the sweet DPS dips action. Those sweet, lovely succulent dips of damage. So, you know, besides that, F the game. So it's like, you know, if there's something worth getting, I'll get it. But if it's not worth getting, F it. Because, yeah, I mean, until the Triumphs come out for Forsaken, and it's like tracking it, and like, it's like, if it's cool enough, and if it's like, well, I can't think right now. The title thing, if it's like, you know, cool enough title that adds to me, and I'm like, you know what, it makes me more awesome, I might go for it. If it's not, it's like, not worth my time. So, yeah. But that was Destiny 2. And then besides that, I've actually been jumping into more consistently, on a consistent basis, Gran Turismo Sport. So that's, I haven't been doing anything beyond the daily stuff, But I did finally check out like the stuff they added in the new update, so that was nice. There's like a new track, a couple new cars. What else? Oh yeah, the skate mode they changed where you can like take a picture outside the car as the driver dude or lady or whatever with your car, all the locations. So yeah, that's a thing. What else? What else? I'm trying to think like anything to add in the update. I don't think that there's anything added besides that that's like super, awesome. But I've just been doing like the daily thingies for like the mileage workout car. So yeah, that's that. And besides that, those two. So I'm trying to pull up the image. Jeez. Besides those two, Monster Hunter World. So that's the thing. I didn't get all of the behemoth armor, but after you clear it the first time, you can get the Jeez, what was it called? I'm trying to think. You can get the... Oh yeah, the optional quest after you clear the event quest. There we go. Okay, so yeah, a few technical difficulties there. We're back. Well, we're not live anymore, but whatever. So yeah.
Ooh. Oh well.
Yes, a working podcast versus a constantly crapping out podcast. Anywho, Monster Hunter World. Behemoth hunts. I just need a bit more for the armor, and I guess I'll go for the insect clay so I can have the full set and look like a dragoon like Kane from Final Fantasy IV and be all like awesome and stuff. So yeah. And then,
I mean, the bug for that glaive looks kind of cool though, because it's like a little mini dragon head thing.
yeah,
So
when
that
you shoot 'em out,
one's
there's like a like when I saw those, I was like, what are those things people are doing? I was like, what is this? Is this a pet? This is an MMO now? What's going on? And then like the Moogle costume for the Palico is pretty awesome and adorable. I was like, oh man, so glad I got that. So that was the thing. But yeah, just working on that. There's an arch tempered Tiestra. I didn't touch that, dude. I was like, I'm good, man. Like, I don't need that supernova all of my stuff. So maybe,
yes, you do.
maybe one day when I feel like that, and I'm like, put on some fire mantle, some ice weapons, and I feel like trying, because it's like, honestly, don't feel like trying. It's like I just don't. It's like, I mean, I kind of feel weird about this game, where it's like, the way it went towards like the post game content lately that I've been getting is like harder and harder and harder, more difficult, more difficult, more difficult. It's like, I just want monsters and hunts and quests, man. I don't really want like to keep harder and harder and oh, that's painful. Oh, this is hard. I just want to hunt things and be like, oh, here's like excuse plot with a handler, adventures, shenanigans, hee, fun. Wow, I, whatever the name of the land is, I can't think of now. I almost called it Vesperia, but I'm like, it's not Vesperia. It's somewhere, not Vesperia. I keep thinking Sapphire Star, but that's not the name of it either. Oh, it's like on the tip of my tongue, and I just can't think of it. It's like I'm thinking Sapphire Star, yeah, it's not Alestra. It's something like that though. I think, whatever.
What is he talking about?
The magical fictional place that you're in when you're in Monster Hunter World.
It's just called the New World.
Oh, it is.
There's no
Okay.
there's no
I
name
thought
for
its
it.
actual name. I guess when like the event with the behemoth, it like messed up my brain when it's like, oh, we're from here with the crystal and we're trying to get back, and it's like, oh, we have a name too. But I guess it's not, just in the New World. So there you go.
Everything is very simple in the Monster Hunter world. No pun intended. You have to keep in mind that everything is just named what it is. Basically, the handler is the handler. The ship captain is the ship captain. The New World is the New World. There's no like nuances or anything there. It's all exactly as it says on the tin.
Also, still waiting for them to add stuff to the melding because it's like I have a bunch of thingies, and it's like, I guess I'll just sell them because it's not like a melding thing anyway. But it would be nice if they updated the melding to like, okay, all the stuff that you have that you've not really been using to meld because it's kind of RNG brokenness. Yay, we changed it, but whatever. So. And then lastly, the game I've played that I've been waiting such a long time for, but I'm so sad to, play and then be through of it when I get through it. Walking Dead, final season. And man, I gotta say, there'll be mouth noises here because that's really like the only way I can like put into words of like how much I enjoyed it. It was just like, nom, 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 and just like just like sucking my fingers after a succulent meal. Just like, oh, that was so delicious. And just like when I just and then at the end,
No one does
just,
that.
at the end, it was a Telltale's mastered the craft of cliffhanger, and we got one. And it's like, oh. And now I'm super curious if, like, when I play through it on, oh, that's the other thing, is, like, I could play it at midnight on PS4, but, like, not on Steam. And I was like, what the F, man? And then, so I, like, wanted to play it on PC first, because, like, well, actually, the whole time I've been playing this on PC, it's, like, that's been first. And that's been, like, my true playthrough. And then PS4 is kind of, like, the, informed opinion of, like, oh, this is going to happen. So it's, like, I can't play it first, it'll, like, mess up the chain or whatever. So, yeah. But, yeah, there was a cliffhanger, and man, did not see that coming. So, Telltale, man, just 3 more episodes, and that's it. That's all out this year. And it's just like, oh man, it's gonna be. It was actually pretty cool though, because it's like your Clementine, and then like you're talking about all the lessons you've learned. It's like, yep, it's like you think you're ready, but you're not, because you never are, because it's The Walking Dead, and like stuff, it's always changing, and it's like. You just did that thing where it's like, it puts you in a situation, it's like, you think you got this, and it's like, oh, you think you got this, but how you react here, because choice is consequence, and it's like, oh, you Telltale, and then it's like, man, crazy stuff happens, and it escalates crazily at the end, it's like, everything's cool, everything's not cool, it's just like, cliffhanger, what's gonna happen next episode, I don't know, to be continued, dun 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 dun, so... That being said, it is nice to finally have, after like season 2 and 3 of like, AJ's a baby, we gotta save him. And then after that in season 3, when it's like, where's AJ? I'm gonna find him. It's like you finally get to the final episode. It's like the Clementine and AJ show. Oh yeah, so enjoying that for sure. But looking forward to more of it after the turbulence we hit in the first episode. So yeah, that's all I've been playing. Delicious.
I didn't really play anything this week. I have no idea what I've been doing. What did I do?
Oh, yeah, that's acceptable. That makes 3 of us.
Yeah. I don't know what I've been doing this week. I'm not really busy either. It's just not really thinking about games.
Well, at least you didn't hang out with your garbage neighbor to be like, oh man, let me tell you about these games. And they'll be like, I don't know about those games. It's like,
I'm waiting for him to like bring up The Last of Us. I don't even know if he's playing it anymore. I feel like maybe it was like, because in the first time you play it, it's just like, whoa, it's really pretty. And then the prologue happens, and if you're not in the right like mind space, then maybe you see that and you're just like, I don't know if I want to continue here. This does not feel like entertainment to me. Yeah, I don't know what I did this week. But I finished all those games last time. And then this time I'm just like, I played nothing. I tried to play some Destiny because I'm trying to get the Triumph T-shirt coupon, and I didn't even make that much progress there. I played 3 rounds of Crucible. 1 round was just regular because I was trying to get the 10 kills thing for your armor. I guess it's called Triumph's armor. I don't know. And then I got that. And then I played another game of Mayhem. And I got the super kills thing for the other piece of armor. And then today I turned it on and it said that Iron Banner was back. I was like, oh, cool, Iron Banner. And I played 1 match of Iron Banner. And it was different. I guess they've changed control a little bit, where if you get a power play now,
it locks it for 30 seconds.
It locks it for a little while. I was like, oh, that is great.
And it also has like the wolves instead of the flag points or fires or something, right?
Oh, like the little emblem appears on it?
Yeah. It's not just
Yeah.
like A, B, and C. It's like a actual thingy with like wolves and fire for the aesthetic of Iron Banner.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Because now you can actually. It seemed like everyone, or I mean, I only played one game, so I'm not sure if it's affected everyone. But it seemed like people were playing it a bit slower than I remember. And they were trying to like hold down the points and get a few kills and then like run for the third one and then get that power play and then just like run around crazy and just kill a bunch of people. So it was really neat. We were behind but we won. And I've never this probably is telling how long I haven't played Destiny for real. I've never seen that Valor rank circle.
Well, it's a long time, Nautical.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, what's this thing? And I got like the first rank, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's what that triumph thing is talking about. I was like, well, I have no idea what this is. And there's like a streak counter at the bottom. And is that a winning streak?
Yeah.
So if you lose, then you lose all those?
Yes.
Man.
Unless you're matched into a game that's not from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I have a 4-game winning streak. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Every time I jump on the game, I play one game, and I won all of them. It's great. So yeah, trying to get that. I have no idea if that is going to happen because the amount I've been playing, and yeah, I've never played the Strike playlist in Destiny 2 ever. It came out. I've never launched the Strike playlist. So
Must be nice.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's like a ton of stuff I've never seen. Fun. What did Yeah, in the beginning of Destiny 2, I was just like, I'm just going to play all Crucible. Everything's going to be Crucible besides the story, and then I'll level up that way. And like the powerful gear stuff. So I think like maybe the first 2 months or so, I was doing all of the milestones every week, and that seemed to be enough. But I never played the Strike one. Pretty crazy. I've played a few Strikes, but it was like with you guys. I've never launched Strikes myself. So I'll probably have to do that. And yeah, not much going on with me. Oh, I know what. I've been researching how to bind my own hardcover books.
Like, here we
I
thought
was like,
Nautical was
what?
going to be making some sort of apparel for esports team, but he's like, books, man. How do you bind them?
Yeah, I can't make like clothes. I would have to start somewhere. Yeah, no, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this book, and then I started looking it up, and it's like, wow, bookbinding is one of these, what I would consider like one of the achievements of our species, and like it's one of the noble traditions of our civilization. So I was like, you know what? It seems simple enough. I want to learn how to do this. That and cooking. The achievements of our species. So, yeah, I guess that took me away from games. Yep. I think those few matches of Crucible is the only thing I've been playing. RBG?
I didn't
Sorry.
play anything on it, but I did get my Switch today, so I set that up.
Oh.
And it's good to go. It's just going to sit there until November. Black Friday deals. I mean, there's already deals on the store and when I looked at it, so I might get some indie games because that 4Kids game is out. I'm like, I remember I was like excited for that game, and it's like 40% off, and I was like, well, it's not like we don't have any
Oh,
money.
it's 40% off?
So
That game does look cool.
guess I'll try it out finally. Be like, okay, let's see how it is. Was it worth the Switch?
So you have no games?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because when I bought it, it came with a screen protector and case. And then I got the hardware for like less than $250, and I was like, yay, it's less than the Wii, that's what I wanted. And then I was like, what accessories do I need? And I was like, oh, line adapter. I mean, I don't need it, but I'm going to get one. Line adapter, and then Pro Controller, and then there's something else I can never forget what the third thing is. Oh, SD card, because I'm pretty sure that was like one of the other things I was griping on the Switch all the time. I was like, no internal storage, it's terrible. So, so yeah, no games until Black Friday, and then hopefully there's like an awesome sale on their e-store thing. So we'll see.
Fun.
And I have like games every week until then, because it's like Shenmue next week. Week after that, I think there's nothing, but then we have Spider-Man and Destiny 2 Forsaken the same week. And like Destiny 2 is basically, gonna be able to hold me until Red Dead, and then Red Dead to like end of November, and then or Black Friday, and then we'll see what deals I get there. And it's probably stuff I'm forgetting because there's like a ton of other crap. Because I'm thinking of maybe getting this guy a remaster or whatever it's called on PS4. So.
Man, I wonder what my playtime is going to be like this year. Because like last year, it's like 2,000 hours, and half of it was Paragon, and then Paragon died, and then I really like played way less of everything. So, is it going to be like less than 800? I haven't even opened God of War. Still,
I keep forgetting about that. John keeps bringing it up.
Like, there's just so many games. So many games, like, I think of them, and it's like, oh, I need to play that. And then a week will go by, and it's like, oh, I didn't play any of those games. Like Red Dead, and, like, all of the episodic stuff that I haven't finished. Guardians of the Galaxy, Life is Strange, the other Life is Strange, the standalone episode of Life is Strange,
the new
second Batman season.
New Life is Strange is also in September, so that's another game.
Yeah.
Oh, I should make a list.
Just so much stuff that I have to get through.
We are in that time of the year where the fall avalanche starts, so have fun.
I bet. Well, did I save a ton of money playing Paragon? I'm not really sure.
You did.
Because I feel like I did buy some of those games. I just never got to them. And that was the big difference. Usually I don't get to them for no reason. That time I didn't get to them because I was playing Paragon. Anywho, that's what I've been playing this week. RBG, what you been playing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think I'm broken.
This is no longer a gaming podcast.
I know. I think I might be broken, guys, because like it's like the third week in a row. I haven't played anything. I mean, I have games, so I mean, it's not like I don't have anything to play. I'm just not playing things, and I'm like, oh no. Am I no longer a gamer?
Maybe your subconscious is whispering to you
am I doomed?
when you're sleeping, and it's like Kingdom Hearts 3, and you're like, it's not out yet. All these games are inferior. They're all trash. Burn them all.
I mean,
Hater pants, I hate
you might
them
not
all.
be wrong, because I have watched all the trailers recently again. But still, I don't know, man. It's like I have games, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't feel like playing anything today. But I feel like maybe it's just that the games that came out just aren't like compelling enough for me. Maybe is what it is. And it's just like once something does come out that I want, like Valkyria Chronicles 4 or something, then I'll be like, oh my gosh, and I'll be like playing nonstop again, kind of thing. But I don't know, because like I've tried on multiple occasions to play the other stuff that I have, and I'm just like, I guess I'll just play Monster Hunter World for a couple of minutes, and then next thing you know, after that, it's like, I don't want to do that. So it's like, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm broken. So this is just great. I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. Does this mean that I lose like my gamer cred? Am I like not a gamer anymore, guys? This is it? Is this it? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So we'll see. When September rolls around and, Dragon Quest and Valkyria Chronicles are out, then maybe I'll get back in there and, start that whole gaming thing and then be like, yay, gaming and stuff. But at the moment, I don't know. I think I'm just broken. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Pretty much it. I've just been kind of just trying to play stuff and failing, and then I was like, yep, I guess I'll just revert back to watching things, because it's all there's left now. That's all that's left, guys.
All that's left is watching. Is that what you're getting at?
Basically, yes.
I think I did watch a lot of stuff.
See, Tropical watched a lot of stuff.
I watched all of Key and Peele and like 4 Disney animated movies from the 90s that I've never seen before.
Oh my goodness. Which ones?
Pocahontas.
How have you never seen Pocahontas?
I don't know.
Like
I've heard the
I haven't
soundtrack
I
completely.
haven't seen Pocahontas either. I haven't seen
Oh
the
my
Disney stuff.
gosh. Throw the whole podcast
Yeah,
out.
like I've heard the soundtrack and all the songs were familiar, but like watching it, it's like none of these scenes seem familiar to me.
Oh my goodness.
It's like I don't even know what the story is, and I saw it. I was like, "Oh, that's the story." It's like, wait, what was the story of the real Pocahontas? And the real story,
Not like that.
no. I was like, "Is this going to be really offensive now?" Watching it in 2018, I was like, it's hard to say that because like it really is sort of a fantasy story. I mean, she takes him to talk to a tree, and the tree talks to them, like literally.
I don't see anything wrong with this scenario.
So, like, I don't know if you can. And then, yeah, I guess I was like, what was her role in history? And apparently, her role in history was probably not that. But like, most of their stories are based off of other stories, and this one, I guess, is kind of like that. The only difference is the person has the same name as a real person, sort of. That was not actually her name. So, yeah, it's weird. So, yeah, that one, I watched Hercules, I've never seen.
Have you never seen Hercules?
I haven't seen Hercules.
Oh my gosh.
There was a time, like, right after Lion King, I think, where everything that came out, the reviews were basically like, it was not as good as The Lion King, I guess. So it was that one. Hunchback, I've never seen. What was the 4th one? I don't remember. That's bad. But I watched like some of their live action ones too that I've never seen. BFG I've never seen. Pete's Dragon I've never seen. So it has been a watch heavy week. What you've been watching could have been a good topic because I've seen a lot of stuff.
Just disappoints me at every turn, this guy.
Oh man, and Cloak and Dagger, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. That series
I'm actually
was
watching
so
that right
good.
now. That's weird.
So
Weird.
good.
I'm on like episode 10 now. What? How many episodes are there in the season?
Not that many. I think you're near the end.
Oh no. Is someone gonna die? That's fine. A lot of people are already dying. It's fine. Lots of people are dying.
I like that one a lot. It was like their Netflix series, except not as dark. So, like,
Hilarious enough.
not especially happy, but much lighter. I was like, oh, this is so good. It's like probably my favorite live action superhero thing on regular TV.
That's an oddly specific, like.
Still not sure how I
Title.
feel about it compared to the Netflix ones. But like compared to I guess all of the stuff on CW, I think it was better than all of those.
Oh my. Oh dear.
Anyways,
Yes, let me steer
should
the
we-
ship back on track to
Yes.
video game land and stuff.
Video game. What was that?
sound of the ship being steered.
That's not the sound ships make. What kind of ships have you been on?
The Wind Hitting Our Souls RPG as we're on the high seas. And
That is
going
not what
to-
wind sounds like. That is not what wind sounds like at all.
What does it sound like? I thought it sounded like whoosh.
Now you're just making karate chops in the air. That is
That
not
was
what
a
you
karate
guys-
chop. That was a whoosh.
We're gonna get you guys in some sound effect
blow of
classes.
wind.
This does not make
Or
any sense.
Whatever you call wind when it blows. Whoosh. But yeah, or the sea. It could have been the sea because it's all like whoosh. It does that thing where it like keeps going because you can like hear it all the time when you're by it. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
like makes people go to sleep when they listen to the waves of the ocean just go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. But yeah, back to segment of the week. So I had no internet for like a while yesterday. It was very annoying. I'm not gonna talk about it. Basically, I was like, wow, I have no internet. I can't really do anything. So, I mean, there's stuff to do besides stuff on the internet. But I was like, yeah, I need to do something productive because it's like basically took all my unproductive time. And I was like, well, you're gonna take all my unproductive time. I'm gonna do something productive. So now I was all cleaning the apartment, and then I had some magazines, some game magazines sitting around. And then one of them was like the official PlayStation Magazine issue 100, and there's like a bunch of articles in it where it's like 100 essential PlayStation games, 10 essential series of PlayStation era, 10 essential peripherals, 10 something something whatever. And I was like looking at the 10 essential series, and I was like, some of these don't exist anymore, or are never coming back. Isn't that a shame? And I was like, oh. On top of that, we've already like in the past in this on the podcast we've been like legendary series that have been so long and like gone so far and blah 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 blah, and then there's someone here that like aren't around, and then it's like I think we need to like finally come up with our definition of like what is a legendary series, and like if even but then you like have series coming back all the time where it's like it was gone, it came back, it got rebooted, or like that's like kind of the era we're in now. It's like remasters, reboots, remakes, and it's like is it do Legends or like they always say blah 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 blah, but Legends never die. It's like do Legends never die? Can they always come back or be remade and rebooted and yada yada yada? So on the tin that they had in the issue, they had Final Fantasy, Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto, Madden. It says Madden in the file, but I'll just say Madden. Metal Gear Solid, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil, Burnout, SOCOM, and Soul Calibur. And like those last three, when I read that, and I was like, Burnout, rip, because man, it was really good. 3 was like it's one of my favorites of all time. And then we got like a couple more, and then EA took their little tentacles and took it in internally and just like they put out Paradise, and then like for a long time nothing, and then like a long time later Paradise remastered, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get more Burnout, not get more Burnout. Is it coming back? Who knows? So looking forward to that if it happens. But man, Burnout was like gone before its time and like before its prime, and it was such a good series. And it's so calm.
Burnout exists again.
Does it exist RPG?
I mean, yeah, technically,
Are you
they
talking
made a
about
new one.
when?
Wait, remastered is not a new one.
It's close enough.
Okay, we'll get to that. Anyway, and so comes on here, and like there wasn't a PS4 version. There's like the PS3. There's like one weird like I don't remember if it was like free to play or it was like I don't think it was free to play, but it was like a weird version of like a third person shooter that was in like SOCOM in name. I never played it, and it's like weird because it was just like not the same thing, and it just wasn't a success. So that's the whole thing, and like it never got really a second chance after that. So that was on console anyway. There's like I'm pretty sure there was like some handheld entries, but I never played them. So whatever. Fireteam Bravo I think was pretty popular and successful, but I never got around to playing it. Not my cup of tea, single player wise anyway. And then Soul Calibur, like, I just thought that was an interesting, thing on here because, we've got a lot of fighting games. And we've got a lot of fighting games that have been around forever. But then I think in my brain when I think about it, like, this makes sense because, like, to me, it's like, you can look at Street Fighter and, like, since it is, like, the flagship, in my opinion, fighting game franchise, like, it has, like, spin-off side series, like Alpha and, not the numbered ones, EX. There we go. And then it's like, but like between 3 and 4, there's like that 10-year gap where it's just like no numbered series. And then like 4 comes back, brings like the entire genre back. And it was just like a magical moment last console generation of just it was just like a great time to be a fighting game fan and just like, the heyday. And we're still in the golden age. It's great because like we have, it's basically just like that happened and it's basically we're still in that wave of like awesome fighting games. We've got like all the cool Arc System Works games and like Dragon Ball FighterZ, which like looks amazing, it plays amazing, and like Tekken's back, and like Tekken 7, Tekken Tag 2, and just like all the fighting games on point. And like we've got like stuff like Skullgirls and what's that one that's like on PS4 that's like a whatever. There's a bunch of fighting games. There's like that dive kick game, but like the genre's back, the scene is revived and revitalized, and like new blood is here, and we're going strong. And it's like Soul Calibur. I don't remember being part of that, so it's like reading that. It's like, why is Soul Calibur on this list? It's just like and then like new Soul Calibur is coming out, but I'm pretty sure it will not do as good. I mean, it'll still like be there in the heyday that we're having, but will it pick up the flag and carry it forward and be like, yeah, I'm the flagship now? I don't think so. But I guess we'll wait and see. Then Metal Gear Solid's on here, and it's like, we all know what happened with Kojima and Konami, and that's like a whole situation of like, we'll never see that ever again with the whole, I mean, maybe, but like, probably not. Kojima Metal Gear Solid game, and like the style of those, and just, man, it was fun while it lasted, but pour one out. Ratchet and Clank, still strong, still going strong. Had the something. I don't know how. It's weird, dude. Like we'll get to it. But like what's the difference between a remaster and a reboot and like all this weirdness?
I think that
like,
was a reboot.
Still legendary because people still loved it and it was like amazing looking and people were like, oh man, that Ratchet and Clank on PS4. Hey, played it. It looks like a Pixar movie. And it's like, oh, it's incredible. Oh. And so yeah, that was the thing. And Resident Evil, I will tip my head to Resident Evil. It's like been in the game a long time. People said after 6 they jumped the shark. It's never going back. 7 comes out, blows everybody away, and then like perfect timing because now we have like Resident Evil 2 remake after like the remake of Resident Evil 1, which is like everybody's like, oh, it's amazing, oh my gosh, it's like Pleasant Evil, and then like 7 comes out, and everyone's like, oh, that's not good, and then like we got Resident Evil 2 remake. Everybody saw the E3 trailer and just like lost their effing minds and just like, oh, and just like you can sense the hype of just like everybody's just like wanting it to just get it in January and just like, oh, Resident Evil Flat, can't wait, just neon candy, and it's like it's so new and different that it is like, even though it's the same thing, it's like it's familiar but different enough to be like, yeah, I can't wait. Final Fantasy still going strong. Gran Turismo still going strong. Grand Theft Auto definitely still going strong, and Madden is still going strong. So those 4 are definitely still up there. I mean, Final Fantasy, you could say it's had a bit of a turbulent time in the last Lightning and 15, but fans still play it, so it's like that's really all that matters. Still bringing in that good money. But to get to the point, legendary series, like how long does it until you're a legend, and then if you falter, can you come back, or is it like once you're like if you fall far enough, are you dead forever, and there's no chance that anybody's gonna like reboot you or remake you, or reboot, remake, whatever, something bring you back from the dead and make you the legend that doesn't die. Because even there's a news story. I mean, I'm gonna like go ahead and like post, I don't know if Tropical has this news story, but like Time Splitters coming back, and man, one of my favorites. So I guess that's the other thing. I guess maybe it's just like in the cycle of dreams that we're in, or not dreams, but like the cycle of like the hype and dream cycle of like it can always happen. You never say never. Final Fantasy 7 remake, it can always happen. Or Shenmue 3, it's like Shenmue 2 happened like however long ago, and everybody's like, oh man, third game, finish the story, Yu Suzuki, what happens? We'll never know. Oh, but we're gonna know. And then so it's like can the legends or can you keep a good legend down? I guess is what I'm saying. And then like what does it take to kill a legend? And all these weird things that I just said
A gun.
are kind of not making sense, but or like maybe your publisher is like, hey, we're Konami, we're not going to make games anymore. Pachinko machines, go go go. And then like unless you might see these characters in like a Smash fighting game, but you're not going to get a proper game installment because whatever. So we're like making money, and you can go after yourselves. I mean, Mass Effect's kind of up there. It's like making me scared. EA, please. I'm like, Andromeda, it's all nice. Secret, but now we have secret teams working on secret things, and now I'm like super hyped now. So it's like, don't play my emotions, but it's like, I can't help but like get excited about that stuff. So we're putting it to the other coast now of like, legendary games, or like Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is another perfect example. It's like, it was around for a long time, was kind of bad for a while. Angel of Darkness rebooted and brought back from the brink. And it is like flourishing yet again because I really enjoyed the Death Cult, and followed by the Life Cult Tomb Raider games, and then this Mayan adventure I'm looking forward to playing eventually. So yeah, definitely can't keep the PlayStation Legends down and dead because they'll come back better than ever. Except for SOCOM, because maybe not. Who knows? Maybe we'll see another Meg. Who knows? Maybe. But I guess that's the question. Is like is there always a chance? Because it seems like there is, or is there just like limits of this game is gone, let it go, and or just like stuff like with the Kojima thing and like MGS. It's like, oh, you'll get MGS, but it'll be not Kojima's MGS, and like the fans will be like, F that noise, and it won't sell any copies. And it's like, oh well, this franchise isn't on ice until we decide what to do with it, or we're just gonna like reproduce the assets like we have Resident of the Enders and make it a VR game, and like so. Super long intro. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking. RPG, Tropical, one of you. Take it away.
I don't even know what the question is after all of that.
Legendary games and legendary franchises that have been made. Can they come back after a very long hiatus? Or is there a limit? And then, like, if there's a game that comes out and it's, like, terrible in the series, does it kill the series, or is it like still able to come back from the brink? I.e. SOCOM, i.e. MGS, and just creator leave, and then not making nothing like that again. Sorry.
Kind of depends because based on what. Hold on a second.
Where the producer's like, you know what, we only care about the no ching ching, no bling bling rule, and you're not making any bling bling, so you're not going to spend the ching ching to develop your games, or the games in this franchise. This legendary series is over for now. That burnout. It's like, yeah, it's like, you're not getting any games. Oh, well, it's the anniversary of like the last one that we made, which was like after all the awesome ones. I guess we'll make another one like the old one, but in like the modern technology. And if it does good enough, maybe we'll continue, but probably not, because we're F us. Are you back, RPG? Okay, that was weird.
I would say that yes, there is always a chance that something will be brought back and achieve legendary status. I don't know if there's like a time limit as for when something becomes legendary.
I would say 10 years. Like, I think if you can go 10 years, that's the other thing, is like looking at so many like games and series that just like come out and like flop and flounder and die and like don't get a chance. Like I think it was like Kingdoms of Amalur or some EA game that was like people were like, oh, this game's great, oh, this game's amazing, and it has like great reviews, and like nobody plays it and it's dead, and it's like, or it doesn't sell, and then like publishers like, we're not going to continue this franchise, and it's just like chop, you're a walker, we're chopping your head off, you're dead. You're the Walking Dead. No, or you're not the Walking Dead, but like you're a you're a walker that has like served its purpose, and you're no longer you've been put out of commission. I guess it's a
Well, like how old is the Walking Dead series? Has it been 10 years?
Are you talking about the Telltale game or like the
the Telltale games?
It's not 10 years. It was at the let's see, PS3. It was on PS3 because that's like when we played it, and then it got remastered or ported to PS4. And PS4 is like 5. How old is PS4? 5, 6.
I think this is the 5th year, right?
So it's like 6
Maybe?
or 7.
Okay.
I would say.
I feel like that is a legendary series now, right?
I mean, that's the thing. But I mean, the thing about like that series is like what makes it different for me is that like it has an endpoint. Like there's unless they have like spin-offs, which is like weird. I don't know why they do that with like an episodic game, but like it has a start and like a start point and an end point 'cause it's an episodic and like they have the final season, so it's like you don't get anything after that. Unless we do, but it's like I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But it doesn't. I don't know like what if they're going to do that. That'd be weird. It's just
yeah,
like a
that's true.
self-contained. It's like a Babylon 5 thing. It's like we made this many episodes, this many seasons to tell the story. That's all you're getting.
See, like, well, so potentially, I guess what they could do
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
is they could make it better, like a remake of the series at some point in the future.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, I guess that's sort of a special case. But yeah, I think that even something like Metal Gear Solid, I think, can be brought back. It would be really hard. I think, someone who Konami was okay with working with would have to come up with a really amazing idea, and then some other circumstance happens where the people at Konami are like, that sounds like it would make a good Metal Gear Solid game. And then they would like work together and make a Metal Gear Solid like that. But yeah, a lot of those situations I think would be really hard. But, I'm thinking about like really old games. Like was Pitfall a game on the Atari?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the one where you often see it's like swinging across vines and there's like alligators. They brought that back for the PS2, and I really liked that game. I thought that game was quite good.
They brought it back on PS2. I remember there was like a Genesis game for it.
There was a PS2 one which was like a 3D sort of character action platformer type game.
Huh.
I don't think it reviewed very highly, but I thought it was quite fun. So yeah, as long as there's ideas, as long as someone is making cool ideas, some of the times those cool ideas get sort of assimilated, absorbed into legendary or at least historic franchises. What was one that went badly?
There's a new Fear Effect that came out that people said wasn't. Well, the reviews are not like stellar, but I haven't played it. But I guess that'd be an example.
Maybe. Yeah, I haven't tried that one either. I want to.
But I think like in the age of like crowdsourcing and stuff like that, I think like the sky's the limit. Because thinking about it, it's like it's kind of like what happened with Streamer 3. It's like people are like it'll never happen, and then like the Kickstarter happened, Broken Records. Or like the same thing with Double Fine, with whatever game that they got a bunch of funding. I can't remember now, but yeah.
The first one?
Didn't they have a game that was like
Broken Age?
Was that? Oh, did they not have any like crowdfunding?
Or
for, like,
Psychonauts 2, I guess?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, like the money is out there. If I guess like Legendary, maybe it's less of a matter of like how long it's been, but more of a matter of like how much people care about it and want it to continue existing and new stuff to be made of it.
Well, the question would be more than if it could do so successfully, because I mean, there's this whole matter of yes, something can come back, but if that particular franchise or thing was would be like I guess like successful in the current market, because I mean take as a matter of fact, take Final Fantasy VII for instance, since they're doing the remake for that one, and how they pretty much basically completely overhauled it, because like not even the battle system is remotely the same to what it was before, and it's one of those things where it's like if they would have kept it the same or kept it exactly the same or whatever, but just made it prettier, kind of thing, if people would still have like I guess kind of like rallied around it like they did in the past, because they're just like, well, it looks good, but then like all these things that are in it don't really translate well to today's market. So it's like the battle system seems kind of slow and clunky, and it's like these characters aren't very, developed and things like that. So I mean, it's like it kind of depends on whether or not you would have, because I mean, if you would have to like change basically everything that made it what it was into something until it basically is just that thing in name only for it to work. Because like I mean, Shimu is coming out now, or the third one or whatever. But I think you mentioned, was it last week or something, when I asked about what, because I've never played any of them, and you were like that people
really
liked it because it's awkward to play, and I was like, that doesn't sound appealing to me at all. And it's like, and now that the 1 and 2 are coming out really soon, I think it's like I could technically play them, but then when you describe them like that, I kind of don't want to. So I'm just like it kind of makes me wonder like how 3 is going to fare, because nostalgia kind of hits hard, or just like, yeah, it's like, this was kind of fun back in the day, but now it's not, because I've played so many other things since then. So I don't know if like things can be brought back without being like changed significantly for it to work, because once you've already started like experiencing all these new things and these new game mechanics and these new tricks and all these technical marvels and everything, it's like, well, the things of the past may not necessarily hold up, except for if you played the things of the past, so you still have your nostalgia filter on, kind of thing. So it may be harder to do, because all these games that did come back, like Tomb Raider and Ratchet and Clank and stuff, like when they got rebooted or whatever, it's like they made changes to make sure that they fit with today's market. So it wasn't like they were necessarily bringing back, the classic game. It was like basically something all new with the classic's name attached to it, kind of thing. Because I mean, how many tombs did she really raid in the new series, outside of like stabbing arrows in people's necks and all kinds of shenanigans?
Well, they've made it a point to say that, there are tombs in this one. There are more tombs in this one. So I guess in the first one, maybe like 12, 16 of them. Small tombs.
Is it not weird that they have to use that as a selling point for a game called Tomb Raider? It's like, well, I mean, I would assume I would be raiding tombs. You shouldn't have to, tell me now with even more tomb goodness. It's like a cereal box advertisement. It's like new rainbow marshmallows. It's like, thank you.
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing about games, though. Like, unlike movie sequels of the past, game sequels tend to be different than the games that preceded them, because that's what people demand. So they want new features in the next one. They want new stuff. Like Tomb Raider started going downhill because every Tomb Raider was kind of the same. And then they tried to do something really drastic with Angel of Darkness, and then just weren't able to pull it off. But yeah, I guess I kind of see like, for example, if we start reaching really far back, like what would a modern day Pong be? Such
Mario
that it was
Tennis.
like
Because
super amazing for people today.
that's the only way it would work. It'd have to be like one of the Mario Tennis games or something. But obviously not Mario Tennis because Nintendo owns those. But so they'd have to make it.
Emotional, narrative-driven Pong.
It's like, oh,
Acronym, people on something or something. I don't know.
that would be weird because then it's just like, then they'd have to add all these new mechanics.
People
to
on
Pong.
nitrous gas.
In
Not
the
quite
dark
the
and gritty
same
future,
game at all.
in 2078, the Pong
Oh my god.
roam the streets, hallucinating as they batter balls around. For
Can
fun.
you save your neighborhood from this roaming gang of Pongs? Oh dear.
That would be hilarious.
Exactly. Although, I mean, Stranger Things, I guess. Stranger Things. But yeah, because it's like if you were just to bring back Pong now or reboot Pong now, it's just like what it was back then, and just like made it like more
Colorful.
high def paddles
More
and
than
colors.
2 colors.
Yeah, so it's just like people wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the Pong I needed. This is the Pong I asked for," because that is not what they asked for and or needed. Because even looking, if you even look at like Tetris over the years, like it started out as what, and while yes, the base formula is more or less the same, like a lot of the new iterations have like done quite a few things to like shake it up, so it's not just like more colorful blocks. So it's like you have different like power-ups and like side scrolling stuff and all the kind of nonsense that they've added to it. So it's not just like, because regular Tetris might not have it might not hold people's attention like old Tetris did back in the day, where video games were more primitive and it's just like, well, this is what I got, so this is amazing kind of thing.
Well, it's funny because one of the examples that you could point to, though, is Pac-Man Championship Edition, which, or I guess it was the DX version that sort of changed up the formula. It's like, you wouldn't think you could make Pac-Man super compelling again, and yet through some really,
Yeah, over 9,000. They
really-
go over 9,000
yeah.
now with it. It's like there's so many balls, but only 2 paddles or something. I don't know.
or they did a whole series of those. Like they made a Galaga that was all crazy and modern, and they made what's the third one? I don't think it was Centipede, but yeah, like Galaga, they made a really crazy one. Pac-Man. So
You're
I guess
I remember
they're-
I can't think of the name, but I did play them last gen.
was like
it was
Galaga
It was
GX,
Galaga
yeah.
Galaxy Universe or something. Galaga something. I remember that.
there's just like really crazy versions of old games. And recently in the arcade, I've seen one where it's a new, I think it's Space Invaders, and they've made it like really cool for the arcade, where instead of you controlling the ship at the bottom and you're like shooting up, it's like those light gun games, except it's like a mounted cannon light gun type game. And they just like fill the screen with tons of Space Invaders and varying sizes, and they're moving down the screen really fast. And it's like, this is somehow really compelling even today. Just like a modified, so maybe they could make something Pong, spiritually like Pong, but like way cool. So yeah, like I look at those things and I say, you know what? If someone can dream it up, like yes, there is always, or if someone can dream it up, and so my answer is yes, someone can always dream it up. And because of that, you can always bring back these titles. They may be very different, But that's what games are like.
Hmm.
All yes.
I would say like for it to be truly like legendary though, it needs like 3 games within the span of 10 years, and then like if it's more than that, then it's just like a reboot or remaster slash rehash or whatever, because you're basically just like taking what Tribal just said, of just like you're taking something old and then like modernizing it for like the current technology.
So you don't think Space Invaders is a legendary game, or you would not consider it a legendary game?
I mean, I would, just for the fact that like if it like the farther back it is, the less like it is to have like multiple entries in a series.
Eh.
Like,
So
there's like a yearly version of Street Fighter 2, like before Street Fighter 3 comes out. It's like
so
some of them are like
okay.
too many, too many games. I definitely would say Street Fighter's up there as well. Like that's like weird to me when I like looked at that list and like, I mean, I guess it's like it wasn't like a list of a legendary series. It was just like a list of essential series for you to play. So it's like, but in my brain, I was like, I don't know about that one. So that was just weird to me. But yeah,
Well, it sounded like a PS2 era list, right?
yeah,
So Street Fighter was not really. It had not returned yet. And it wasn't really associated with PlayStation until more recently, anyway.
I think the thing at like that time was like that was when like consoles came into like and they killed all the arcade games, and like fighting genre was like such a big presence of the arcade that like it kind of messed up all the series that were fighting games that were at least like more dependent on arcade presence, like Street Fighter. So.
Mm.
Like anytime Konami wants to bring back DDR, I'm totally ready. Just saying. So definitely pick that up.
I don't know what modern DDR would be like. I guess the pads could be better. They kind of sucked. Or they didn't like feel good to play on.
I don't think I've ever played DDR.
I was not good at it at all, but I could appreciate what it was while being bad at it.
That doesn't sound fun. Doesn't sound fun at all.
So some of these other, like, I guess there are some games that, like Metal Gear Solid, would also be really hard to make new ones of. Like, could you imagine Michael Jackson's Moonwalker being made like this year? Or
I think I played that.
the RoboCop games on NES? New entries in the RoboCop game series?
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I could see it just because you just basically take what the modern standards are and apply it to
That's true. That seems easier.
the genre in the game.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. What would that be like? Or like the 4-player Michael Jackson game from the arcade? I don't know what it's called.
Man, arcades. They had all the weird stuff.
Oh man, I did play something else, but it was in the arcade, and that's why it's in my mind.
And I guess like it's weird, like when I think about it too. It's like if you look at the like the definition I'm using for me anyway, it's like three games or this put out 10 years, and then you can always just like bring them back or remake them or whatever. Like it seems like Nintendo has like all legendary games because they have. I mean, with the exception of like a few of them, they've kind of just over time kept on.
See, except for Pikmin, Animal Crossing,
Earthbound.
Yeah, I think Pikmin, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon. Like, I can imagine every Nintendo game in 2D with sprite art, because that's where they all came from.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting in a time where a lot of this stuff is coming back, and it's doing pretty well. You wouldn't think so, but they are. Like Crash Bandicoot whatever trilogy. Reception was really great. Now they're doing the Spyro one.
So maybe we're in the time of like when you should resurrect your dead legends and let them
Yeah.
that you like left by the wayside. Burnout, EA, jeez. So calm. Someone get on that. I mean, it doesn't have to be Zipper because they're no longer around. But I'm pretty sure you could just give it to some developer that's like, we make action games at PlayStation. Damn spot. There you go.
I guess it depends on what was it that made SOCOM cool.
I think it was the online.
Well, everything is online now.
Yeah,
so what would it be? Did you play, like, PS3 had two of them? It was Combined Assault, I think, was one, which was online only, and then SOCOM 4.
I did not play either of those, I don't think.
Was that... Could you, like, talk to your AI teammates in SOCOM on PS2?
That's the one where you, like, gave commands through the headset.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's, like, the cool thing about that game series today. Because now we can do voice recognition stuff so much better.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, at some point, they get that down really good, and they're looking at what's going to be a game that people think is cool that you can, like, it's going to be identify plus something, and then it's a SOCOM. That could happen. I think people would definitely be curious and be like, ooh, you can talk to your teammates? It's going to be the most advanced talking to your AI teammates ever so far.
Most talking to. I mean, the problem is that leads to one of our mini apocalypses because one, they would have to be able to respond and learn and be prepared for any of the who knows how many commands or conversations you can have with them. And the next thing you know, we're developing these super smart AIs, and then they're like networking everything, and it's gonna be Skynet, man. It's gonna be Skynet.
At least we're not giving them access to guns. Not real ones, anyways.
I'm about to say, it's like, wow. And it's like, and now Disney's making these robot stuntmen, which I'm like, come on, guys, come on. Like, really? We're not even trying anymore. We're just like not even trying to avert any apocalypses anymore. We're just like, it's fine. Let's make them ninjas. Let's make them ninjas. Yes. So this is all fine. But yes, it would be interesting to see those kinds of things, though. Actually, because would that work in like games like Mass Effect though? If they were to do something like that, because it's like you have all your dialogue trees, so you can have like the player like saying stuff, and then having like
they did have that functionality for Mass Effect, but it wasn't like to make it truly next gen. It would have to be something like Milo, where you could just say whatever.
Yeah, and then like
and
the characters are like
respond based on its personality.
Oh, based on personality. I was gonna say wasn't Binary Domain kind of like that, but I never played it. So.
Did it have voice control?
Yeah.
Huh.
I thought it did.
Well, I know. So. Yeah, like the step beyond, because I know Mass Effect. I think Mass Effect was with Connect.
Yeah.
And you could say the thing that was written in the wheel, in the dialogue wheel, and then they would play back the thing that is the response to that. So that's easily achievable now because we have pretty good like voice recognition. The hard part is like making an AI that would be able to respond naturally to whatever it is you say. And I don't. There's probably no game. I mean, that's the dream of that Identify clip that they showed so many years ago. There's like you can just say whatever, and they will respond accordingly, depending on whatever parameters they put into the game.
Putting that on my wish for E3 this year. Thanks, Tropical. Next year.
That would be. It would be. It is kind of scary, but also so cool. I mean, that would be amazing. Like more recently, a thing that I used that was the Inpatient. So the Inpatient with the VR game set in the world of Until Dawn, like it would give you what to read, and then you could read that thing out loud as the method of selection.
Although, I mean, I guess like with enough combinations of things, because remember the disappeared peripheral that was the vitality monitor for Nintendo?
Oh yeah.
Like if you were to add that with like the dialogue options, and it would kind of like read your, I guess like your emotion behind your words or whatever, and then the people can respond accordingly. Like, you seem really nervous while you're asking me these questions. What's going on with you? Kind of thing. It's like, I don't know.
It would be like L.A. Noire, but backwards.
Basically, yes.
They're questioning you.
It's like, oh no, you found me out. But yeah, I mean, it could be some interesting things if they were able to pull off. But that would probably take so much like tech and time to develop and everything. And oh my goodness,
it's coming.
I mean, it's possible that something like that is already in development and it's just going to take that long. Because so who knows?
It's coming.
So I guess we shall
have
see.
like Alexa and Siri and Google.
Yeah. Like, that's the voice recognition part. They're pretty good at understanding, or, like, understanding what words you're saying, but then interpreting it is where they have difficulties.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be a really cool idea for the next SOCOM. Super smart, not tactically, but like AI wise. And you can just talk to your squad mates.
Hmm.
Is there a follow-up, or do we need to do the secondary topic?
You can save the secondary topic for another time.
All right, cool.
Which I'm kind of not remembering what it was.
It was the thing about like hunting down
Oh yeah, we can do that some more time.
the stuff. Okay. News then?
Sure.
Unless, is there anything else on this one? Tekken, did you have an answer? Can everything be brought back?
Yes, everything can be brought back because there's just been. I mean,
I
if you look at Resident Evil 1
believe
remake
that.
and then Resident Evil 2 remake, and just like those on top of stuff like Shenmue 3, where it's like it's gone for a long time, and it's back, or Beyond Evil 2. I mean, yeah, I said my rules like it has like 3 entries, but it's like I'll let it slide for like certain games where it's just like the cold status. I mean, that's the other thing is like games just get like insane amount of like cold status of like people just like, we need another one, watch the next one, and just like, you know, just like the rage of like the internet right now, just like people just like, you know, rabidly, just devoutly wanting something. It's just like, I think as long as it's like, yeah, if you build it, they will come, man. Just You know, even I would say even Nier's legendary because it's got Dragon Guard, and then like it went into Nier, and now people are like, oh man, Nier's so awesome, and then like, but like when I haven't played Dragon Guard, like what happened? So maybe they like ever come out with like some crazy like super like if you want to go back and play all of them, well we've remade them all, so you can go back and revisit to get the story completely. Or I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something else besides that. But yeah, there's just like so many games that are just like so many entries long that you can't go back and play, and it's like, even if the story is over, it'd be nice to see them like bring it into like a modern, reimagining like Resident Evil 1 and 2 remake, or just keep it going like Shenmue 3, or just Legend never die, man. Legend never die. People always enjoy them because as long as they're good, they'll play them. So yeah, Legend never die. Shenmue 3.
Legends never die.
It might die.
Okay, news then. Start with the not so cool things. Update on the IGN plagiarism thing. Apparently, it's like way worse.
Uh-oh.
So IGN has been removing. They've been going back and evaluating everything that the guy ever wrote, and have removed a lot of them because there was just like more and more similarities with other things on the internet found with his reviews, and apparently even his LinkedIn profile is the same as some.
How do you plagiarize someone's LinkedIn profile? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, apparently he had. So the video went up, titled it's like, "Oh, IGN stole my review. What do I do?" And then those reviews got taken down for Dead Cell, and then the guy got fired. And then apparently, like, Kotaku wrote a thing about how another one of the reviews seemed like super similar, or like too similar to something else. And then I guess the guy wrote or put up a response video on YouTube that was just like, "Well, I challenge you to find more." And then like a ton of people found more. And he took down the video, and it was just like,
you know how you never goad the internet into doing things? You should never goad the internet into doing things.
Yeah, so just like a ton of stuff has been taken down, and IGN staff is just like, how did this happen? And people are like, how did this happen? It's like, well, the thing is, this happens so rarely that no one thinks to check for it. And yeah, it is insane. So
I just want to go on record as saying that I never really read any of their reviews anyways.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So that's bad. Another bad thing. Nintendo decided to crack down on ROM sites. This is the thing that Tekken was talking about earlier. And one of them, a 18-year-old site called Emu Paradise, decided to shut down because they were like, yeah, we can't risk it. If we continue, like, really bad stuff is going to happen to us. Because technically,
what is this site? What is this?
Emu Paradise? I guess it's short for Emulator Paradise.
I thought it was about the bird. I was like, wait a minute. What kind of weirdness are we doing over here?
Yeah, they had a ton of ROMs for multiple different systems, arcade, old consoles, tons of stuff. And yeah, they shut down because the website is going to stay, but it's not going to provide ROMs anymore. And yeah, so that is the end of that chapter. I mean, really, like, it's hard to fight legally because the thing is, end user license agreement or whatever says you can't copy this stuff. So, and you agreed to it by playing the game, so not really anything you can do. But it's still like sad because a lot of those games, like, there really isn't any other way to play them because they don't sell them anymore, or they're arcade games that were never made for consoles, and just lots of different reasons. So I hope that in the future something happens in this area that allows us to sort of preserve the history of all the games, and then we are somehow able to access them. But who knows? And then a whole bunch of stuff from Bethesda, because I guess QuakeCon was this previous weekend. One of them, so these are the bad ones. One, a story came out that like they sent a takedown notice or something to a Amazon seller. Like some guy was selling a like still shrink wrapped copy of, I believe it was Wolfenstein 2, and he had listed it as new on Amazon. And then Bethesda was like, "No, we're gonna sue you. You can't sell it as new." And like, why not? Like, it's new. I mean, I haven't played it. It's in the box. And I guess Bethesda's argument is no. Only authorized retailers are allowed to sell new copies of our game, because we can't check that your copy is new. You have to write that it's pre-owned, even if it's still shrink wrapped or whatever. And it's a crazy thing. But it initially, when the story came out, it started a mini panic, I think, among some people who were like, "Oh no, Bethesda's cracking down, so now you can't sell your used games anymore." But then it came out like, no, apparently they have issue with people calling them new, even though it's new. You can't sell it as new unless you have an agreement with them. It's weird.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
And then their other one was, apparently Bethesda has given Sony sort of a ultimatum.
Oh, I saw that.
On crossplay.
Yeah, good luck with that.
The Elder Scrolls Legends.
Oh,
They're just saying that the Elder Scrolls Legends requires cross-platform stuff, because one of the features of the game apparently is you can be playing it, you can be in a game on your laptop, then you can close your laptop, game is still going, and then connect with your phone, and you're still connected to the same game, because it's a card battle game.
Mm-hmm.
So, Elder Scrolls Legends, how much is that game?
I believe it is free.
Oh, well. So much money down the tubes. Somebody's going to be missing from that.
Apparently, like this feature, as well as like cross-platform progression and all this stuff, like one account follows you everywhere, is really important. Bethesda says it's really important to the Elder Scrolls Legends, and if Sony is not willing to let them do that on PlayStation, then they haven't. I mean, people assumed that what they meant was like, oh, then they're not going to release it on PlayStation. But apparently it's more moderate than that. It's like maybe, or it'll be like different somehow, but they don't want to do that. Or there's a lot of, the quote was something like, there's a lot of distance between yes and no. So depending on what Sony's response is, I guess this is still developing.
I don't know how that ultimatum is going to work out for them, because they'll probably still be like, yeah, we're still not doing it. And they'll be like, it's fine, we're still going to release it on your platform anyway. And it's like, well, I mean,
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, definitely the biggest platform for the Elder Scrolls Legends is going to be mobile. So maybe they don't care if they can't release on PlayStation 4.
But they'd be losing a lot of potential revenue. And they like monies.
Yeah, I guess we will see then. Neutral news, I guess. Sumo Digital, they bought the Chinese room. The developers of Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. So, yay? I don't know. Neutral. And then moving on to positive type stuff. Or, no, here's a neutral one for us here. Fortnite is out on Android. And last week we talked about how Epic was bypassing the Google Play Store so they wouldn't have to pay them. So I guess a lot of writers were interested in, like, well, what does that mean for Google? And people did the math or something, and they estimate that Google Play Store will lose out on about $50 million by Fortnite, by Epic choosing not to release Fortnite there. Pretty crazy. Okay, so good stuff. We got to see Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay this week. It looks like they're trying to make a way more interactive that sounds like nothing. They're making a more interestingly interactive world than other games. So they showed stuff like, yeah, I think in most games, like, your interactions with other characters is pretty limited. You can shoot them, run them over, or like not shoot them or not run them over. And in this one, you have things like you can talk to them, or you can threaten them, or you can be friendly to them, and just like all this different stuff for NPCs. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It makes it feel like it makes it feel more like you're actually living there, as opposed to a character who can do certain things, and that's it in there. I don't know. Did you watch it? The gameplay stuff?
I did not.
Jagan? Jagan's gone. Jagan's gone.
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Tekken. Oh, my gosh.
Did you watch the gameplay stuff? Or Red Dead?
Yeah. It it was weird because, like, I wasn't blown away like I thought it would be. It's like it just looked like more Red Dead, just prettier. So it's like I kind of feel like all the, like, we've just been like so inundated with like open world games since the console generation. This one, it's like I think like everybody caught up to where, I mean, they're not like at where Rockstar's at, but like, you know, the quality of like everybody like consistently is like high. So it's like it's not like it's, you know, bad like consistently across the board. It's just like everything is like really good, and then it's like to then see like Red Dead is not really like that much better. It's just like, okay, another open world game because there's so many, and then it's like I've played Horizon, so it's like that's a pretty effing high bar. So like
that's why I thought the talking to NPC stuff was so interesting. Feels like they're trying to go. They know that everyone is here, and they're like, well, how do we go beyond that?
I feel like it's not enough though. Like that's just like one element. It's like you can provoke, you can talk to them, whatever. It just doesn't seem like it's. It has like it had like, yeah, and then like all the stuff that they showed, it like was very familiar as far as like it's like a lot of the old stuff of like hunting, and like I mean, yeah, you have the camp thing, but like when they showed like there's hunting, it's like, well, there's hunting in Red Dead 1, so it's like that didn't really move the needle for me.
But now you have to feed your people. It's not just you, and you didn't eat it in the past.
I didn't end up pre-ordering it, so whatever. So I'm looking forward to. I don't think it's gonna be like it's weird. I have like cautiously optimistic expectations for this game. It's not like super high or super low. It's just like, you know, it's expected to be good, but not like blow me away. So I'm hoping it does, like, you know, end up doing that, because Red Dead 1 is like one of my favorites. So we'll see if that happens. But I'm kind of, I don't know. It's like it's like the bar is so high right now with like everything consistently. It's like I don't think they can just like get that much beyond where everybody else is at magically. Unless there's just something else in there that we don't know about, but I doubt that. Especially like considering the state of GTA 5 and like how they just let GTA Online just like spiral out of spiral out of control, and it's like just some like behemoth that makes them money over fist. Microtransactions up the wazoo, and like with like all the current state of like people being up in arms against that, I'm really interested to see if they revolt, if like that's in there at all anywhere in Red Dead 2. So that'll be interesting.
Be cool. We also got to see Doom Eternal gameplay that they promised to show at QuakeCon.
Is it Doom 2?
Yeah, I guess it's Doom 2.
It's
It's
Doom 2, isn't it?
I guess you can fly around the stage more. It's the big thing I saw. Your like brutal melee kills are a bit faster because you got a blade on your hand.
On your hand or for a hand?
It's like a wrist-mounted, retractable blade.
Like an assassin?
I like that.
Well, sort of, except it was big, like a
It's like an
machete.
assassin.
So they show. I do not recall, but it seemed like because you had the shotgun appeared to have like a grappling hook type thing under it, and then you could grapple and pull yourself towards enemies, and then like launch yourself into the air with it. And so it felt like there was a lot more flying around than Doom 1 or Doom.
Also, another
like,
example of a legendary series that has been brought forward in time. Just want to throw that out there.
Although,
and in a crazy way too, because they didn't try to adapt it to modern sort of convention.
it just made it prettier.
It's modern, but it's also
It's a modern classic. Oh.
yeah, it's not like other games in the genre anymore.
Although, wasn't Doom kind of like the one that made that genre what it was to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a
think
good point. It's like it's
so.
cool that they like didn't try to like copy like a Call of Duty or whatever. It's like they just did what was
Yeah.
right for them, and it worked.
Yeah.
Because they aren't like anything else. So it's like, of course, if they like go down that path of like super brutal violence, which is like what it's built on anyway, it would make it unique in its own. I guess they
Well,
also did with Wolfenstein, so like it just worked out, I guess.
yeah. Like the big thing with Doom was that all games are like, oh, you need it's like realism, so you have your sense of self, so you can only hold 2 or 3 guns because you're not crazy, super buff or whatever, or magical.
I can hold more than 3 guns.
And then there's no reloading in Doom. You never reload. And they could have added all those things to Doom, but they didn't. They just like kept it the way it was, and
It's like
it was amazing.
FPS lives on.
Yeah,
Time splitters, yes.
how it could have been.
It could work.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really notice that much in Doom Eternal since I haven't played Doom in a while. But it did seem like there's more vertical stuff, and the blade thing seemed to make, because the other one's like, it takes effort to snap a demon's head off or whatever, and this was just like slice. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, very excited for that one. Finally, this week they announced that the PlayStation family of consoles has sold over 500 million units since the PS1. And so they decided to release a 500 million limited edition PS4 Pro, which is a translucent blue console. They're only going to make 50,000 of them, so it's kind of like the
15th anniversary
20th
one.
20th anniversary one. And I imagine those are all sold out now. I don't know.
I
Probably.
really want that DualShock.
They are going to sell the DualShock separately.
Isn't
So
there
a
a headset
translucent blue. Yes. Also a gold
Yeah, I think I'm getting both of those.
level headset. It's coming out in October. I don't know when they're going to start selling the controller separately. But that might actually only be an online thing also. So you have to fight other people for it, possibly.
In real
I hope
life
they just
too.
put it in stores. That would be great. Then we can fight them in real life. Yes.
Yes.
That is what you said, right?
It is what I said.
Cool.
Because I like to fight people. And I don't fight fair.
So yeah, that's going to be a $499, 2 terabyte console, PS4 Pro. And that is all the news I have.
You'll
What was the
never
thing-
see
what was the
me
thing you
coming.
What article?
What was the thing that you were talking about? The game that is coming back?
Oh, who are the Dead Island people?
We're the Dead Island people.
They're like subsidiary of them, like
Is it
Cook-
Deep
yeah,
Silver?
Deep Silver or Cook some. I'll look it up real quick. Hold up.
Oh, Coke Media?
Yeah, Cook Media essentially bought the assets of all the Time Splitters, and there's another game I can't think of, Second Sight. So I guess they're making another one. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick so I don't get the.
Right, I did see something about Time Splitters, and I was like, oh, Tekken's going to love this. And I was like, I don't remember what Time Splitters is, so then that doesn't really help me at all.
You know what their pattern has been, right? Like, all the stuff that they bought, Darksiders is the one I'm thinking, and I guess Red Faction also. Like, they went and re-released all the old ones, and then they made new ones. So, like, Darksiders, they released the Definitive Edition and the War Mastered Edition of the first two, and then announced the third one. And Red Faction, you can get the PS2 classics on PS4,
Okay, so
and they
what you're
remastered, like
thinking is-
remastered edition.
So what you're thinking is that they're probably going to do the same thing with Time Splitters and then announce a new Time Splitters?
Well, they've already
Yes.
announced a new one, but then it might just be like Tropical said, like remasters of the old ones. But Coke Media acquired the series. Let's see, and it's going to be published by Deep Silver, and they also picked up Second Sight. So, looking forward to that.
Cool.
There was like a fan-made Time Splitters game in the works. I'm not sure if that's still in the works now, or if that they also got that too, or like what's going on there. But whatever. So
I think I bought Second Sight during my PS2 buy crazy thingy.
Oh, during that period where you went crazy?
Yes.
Mm.
I think I
Didn't
got
you
it
end up
then.
with? Didn't you end up with like 5 PS2s or something at that point?
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was because I was like, I'm not. What if my PS2 breaks? And I bought a bunch of PS2s.
To any new listeners, there was this time where Tropical went absolutely crazy, and yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. So, yeah,
I only have one PS3.
stop it.
I'm sure there's plenty on eBay. I was just on there looking up Japanese PS2s, and yeah, there's probably a bunch on there. Tropical if you're.
Oh wow, I have a Japanese PS2. It's not here.
Oh,
Well, remember, Tropical actually knows Japanese, so it makes sense.
Oh man, that was a crazy time too. I should probably take a picture of it at some point, but I bought the Japanese PS2 to play Final Fantasy X-2 in Japanese, and I also bought, like, they had these Yuna guns that they made as controllers.
Sometimes,
it's funny when I like searched Japanese PS2, like there was some like weird. I don't remember what game it was like, but there's like some weird peripheral controller that came up. I think it might have been Typing of the Dead, but it might have been something else. It was just like, what is this? I was like, does this come with the console? Because I don't think it does. It's just super overpriced because it's a specialty item. So that was weird.
Oh, it was funny. My neighbor, that neighbor was cleaning out his garage, and like I was over there and I saw a CRT TV, and I was like, oh, does that work? And he's like, yeah, do you want it? And so I ended up with the CRT TV, which like I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with it. I thought, well,
Yes,
like
Tropical. What was your plan? What was your plan in all of this?
PS2 and earlier consoles do look better on CRT TVs, kind of. But then I remembered that I still have. You remember Point Blank?
Yeah.
Was that the series?
Mm-hmm.
I have a Gun Con and Point Blank, and I was like, oh my gosh, those only work on CRT TVs. So there is a reason. I just didn't know what it was when I went crazy and accepted the CRT TV.
Oh dear.
What a great reason. All right, I'm done. That's the news. And my reminiscing.
Okie dokie. So, Aimless Babble Z, aimlesspodcast.com. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever the F else on the internet we're at, where you can find us.
Oh my. Such language.
Um,
Maybe kids listening.
Nah.
I mean, Tropical has a kid, like, that's usually in his immediate vicinity.
I will probably just edit this together with like the parts at the beginning that got cut off, and then like rip out the audio and just have it be like one thing instead of like a bunch of parts that are just like weirded together. So enjoy that. Hopefully it works. Whatever. But yeah, anything to say before we sign off, RPG?
I need someone to fix me because I am broken.
Wow.
And I need to be fixed.
We gotta get on that Diablo then.
Anything?
Then we gotta get on that Diablo, I guess.
Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
That is what I said.
Okay, so yeah.
I mean, drugs could be the answer.
Man, Shimu 1 and 2 next week. Check it out. And effing final season of Walking Dead is out, so check that out too. But yeah, until you see or hear from us again, Aimless Babble Z, and we're now signing off.